Some people see going to college as their golden ticket to a successful future. They see it as a way to get the job that they want. They see it as a way to get the salary that they want. And they see it as a way to get the future that they look forward to. While those goals and aspirations aren't bad, choosing the college that is the wrong fit for you can greatly derail everything that you have planned when it comes to your future self. So let's take a look at how you can choose the college that's the right fit for you. The F stands for finances. So before we dig into everything you need to understand about college finances, let's have a quick reality check. Did you know that currently there is $1.8 trillion in student debt? I don't know about you, but I can't even comprehend what that number looks like. The average cost of in-state tuition is around $25,000 per year. That number jumps to $104,000 for an in-state bachelor's degree. It goes even higher if you choose an out-of-state college and even higher if you choose a private college. The average interest rate, according to the federal government, on a school loan is 3.9%. Most borrowers borrow around $30,000. A $30,000 school loan, depending on your income, could take you 10 years to repay, with payments ranging from $250 all the way up to $500 plus. Listen, if you were to finance the entire $105,000 for your college experience and you paid $500 a month towards that over 10 years, you would end up paying more than double what you invested in the original college degree. You would have started with a $105,000 bill and you will end up paying back $227,000. One of the reasons that the F stands for finance is because I want you to start your life out in a way that you can live the life that you want. Now, if you have to take out loans, I completely understand that, but I'd rather you be equipped with the knowledge and the information so you truly know what you're getting yourself into. Because it may feel like you're just getting a free pass to go to college, but at the end of the day, you are going to have to pay back all of that and more in order to earn that degree. And listen, here's the deal. If you're having to spend $500 a month on a college loan when you could have earned scholarships or worked for college or picked something that even aligned better with what you wanted to do, that's $500 less for you to go out and have fun with your friends. That's $500 less for you to spend on traveling the world in the United States. That's $500 less that you have in your pocket to put away for retirement so that when you can no longer work, you have a healthy savings and you can live the retirement of your dreams. Making sure that you have your finances straight is way more important than the college that you go to. So at this point, you're probably saying, well, Justin, you've given me all the bad news and now I don't even think I need to go. That's not what I'm saying at all. So let's talk a little bit about the positive side of college finance. The most important work that you can do, and it's honestly the work that not a lot of other people do, is research the financial aid options that are afforded to you. One of the things I recommend all of my one-on-one coaching clients is that they should fill out the FAFSA first thing, even if they think they're not going to qualify for anything. Here's why. FAFSA, number one, gives you access to the dreaded loans, which if you need to take some out, I understand. But FAFSA also unlocks scholarships, grants, and work studies that are going to allow you to access funds at the university you end up going to. If you choose not to fill out the FAFSA, some of the in-house scholarships and programs that the university offers won't be available to you if you don't fill out the FAFSA. So I highly encourage you, even if you don't plan on taking out loans, even if you don't think you're going to qualify for anything, fill out your FAFSA form so that you may qualify for something later when you actually get to the college. Scholarships are another important thing for you to do. I always like to tell people that scholarships is going to be your new job whenever you're trying to get into college. You see, the scholarship game is all about how many scholarships you can apply for. It may sometimes feel a little hopeless when you're applying and you get rejected. However, you greatly increase that chance if you constantly and consistently apply to as many scholarships as you possibly can. I like to remind my clients that you're never going to get a full ride unless you apply. Grants and work study are other options that you'll have on the university. Work study basically helps you cover some of your costs and pays you a little bit while you work at the university. And grants are free funds that the government gives you that you don't have to pay back if you qualify for them. Again, FAFSA is the key to unlocking all of those things, so make sure you apply because you never know what you're going to get. The last thing under finance that I want to talk about is the cost versus the return on investment. Maybe there's a particular university that you have to go to. Maybe there's a university that your parents are pushing you to go to because that's where they went. Those are all good reasons to go to a university, especially if they offer the things that you want. However, I want you to consider something. Are you going to that college because of the prestige? And if so, is the high price of that college's prestige worth the cost of investment? When you're selecting a college, you want to weigh the cost of the total amount to what your potential earnings are going to be when you get in the workforce. If you're going to go to an Ivy League school and pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to go to a prestigious institution, and you're only going to get paid $40,000 to $60,000 when you graduate, you're going to be a slave to debt for the rest of your life. And I don't want that to happen for you. So sometimes you have to remind yourself that choosing the college that's the right fit doesn't always mean the college that others are pushing you to go to or the college with the most prestige. At the end of the day, if you graduate with a bachelor's degree, you've been given the ticket to go into the workforce. Let's take a look at the second letter of the FIT model, and that is the letter I, which stands for industry. If you're going to jump straight into a four-year university, I always recommend that you try to know what industry you want to go into. Now, if you've seen any of my stuff in the past, you know that I always like to tell you that going to college, especially if you're a young adult going from high school into college, isn't necessarily about picking the next step for the rest of your life, but more about picking the next big step in the next chapter of your life. So I don't ever want you to think that going to college means you have to pick the career that you're going to do forever, which for some of you it may, but I want you instead to pick a college that's going to serve your overall life well. Let me tell you what I mean by that. First, if you don't know what you're going to do or you haven't decided what to major in, sometimes it's just better to go to a community college and work on becoming core complete or getting your associate's degree or getting your basics done there because they're going to be a lot cheaper. They're going to offer you a lot more resources in order to help you be successful. And a lot of colleges have transfer agreements that ensure that whatever courses you took while you were there will fully transfer into a four-year university so that you're only paying those four-year university tuitions for 2 years. You also need to understand, is the major you're going into in demand? Whenever I graduated with my bachelor's degree from my university, I was going to be a teacher. Well, in the state that I was going to teach in, there was a hiring freeze. Now, I couldn't have predicted that, but I definitely had to go find something else to do for several years before I actually was able to enter the field of teaching. So make sure you have an understanding of the industry and whether or not they're hiring. Another thing to look at is a college's reputation in a certain area. Now, previously I told you shouldn't go to a college just for their prestige. However, I do think that if you are trying to go into a specific industry and you have a college that specializes in creating successful members of the community who have gone there that get jobs and they get hired in that industry, it should be on your list of considerations. Also, some colleges offer better networking opportunities. That's something else to consider. How is the college actually going to support you into getting the job of your dreams? Do they offer internships? Do they offer networking? Is there a great alumni association where maybe you can get some job leads? Do they have any programs that will help prepare you to enter the workforce as soon as you graduate college? Those are all bonus added things that you should ask about when you're researching colleges and talking to admissions. Another thing to think about is what you're wanting to do so specialized that you only have a few options. If so, you may have to go to a certain college and you may have to figure out how you're going to pay for that. However, if you have something that's a little more broad and that most colleges teach, you should definitely look at some of the other options that offer more affordable tuition and living rates so that you can weigh the pros and the cons and see which one's going to be the best for you. The final part of this FIT model is the letter T, and that stands for timeline. I know that most people think that they're going to go to college and graduate in 4 years. However, based on finances and life circumstances, that might not be a reality for you. That might not even be something that you're looking to do. So the first step is to figure out exactly what's required in order for you to get the job of your dreams, and then backwards plan and see what kind of degrees, certifications, trainings, and requirements that job expects of you so that you can make sure that you're not taking too many courses or too few courses. Oftentimes, some high paying jobs don't even require a bachelor's degree. They just require a certification or some brief schooling, and they even sometimes pay more than the jobs that require bachelor's degrees. I mentioned this briefly before, but embarking on your educational journey at a community college or a 2-year institution could be a game changer for you. Not only are tuition costs lower, but they generally work with your work schedule and offer a more flexible lifestyle than a traditional 4-year university would. The support at community colleges can also be magnified because they're teaching a smaller number of students, whereas a public university is teaching tens of thousands of students. You also want to think about whether or not you're going to go full-time or part-time at college. Typically, taking 12 hours is considered a full-time college career. Now, that's 12 hours of classes, and additionally, you're going to have to spend some hours outside of class completing all the work and the assignments that are required. If you're not in a hurry or finances are tough, consider being a part-time student. Maybe you can take your classes a few at a time and pay cash for them so that you don't have any debt while you're still working. If you are in a rush, find an online program that's going to let you take the courses at a faster pace so that you can work really hard in a small amount of time and get the degree quick. And finally, I want to talk to you about gap years and some alternative paths. Recently, gap years have become quite popular. It's when a high schooler graduates from high school and they take a year off to kind of get acclimated to the world and life after high school. Sometimes they travel, sometimes they start work and they do other things. It's not a bad option, but I do want to caution you a few things about a gap year. Two of the biggest things that I've heard people talk about when it comes to taking a gap year is sometimes they feel left behind by their peers. Their peers are progressing at a faster rate than them because they went straight into college or straight into the workforce. And a lot of times, people find it hard to go from living on your own for a year back to the mold of the educational structure of studying, of going to class, of those types of expectations. So before you take a gap year, you really have to consider, is that going to be the best thing for you or not? And finally, I want to talk to you about avenues to success for your life that don't require college. Did you know that less than half of the people who graduate with a bachelor's degree actually end up working in a job related to their major? I know, I thought that was crazy too, but when I reflected on it, the exact same thing happened to me. So before you commit yourself fully to a large college tuition bill, why not explore some other things like some of the medical fields that don't require college degrees, some of the industry fields like electrical and plumbing and pipe fitting and things like that are skills that are in high demand and they pay very well. Personally, I believe that you define what success is for you. You may have others telling you that college is the only path, and for some of you that will be the path. But for others, college is not part of your dreams. College is not part of your future. You just want to get to work and you want to make a good living. And as long as you are getting trained in some sort of specialty, I think that's also a good option to consider. So there you have it. That is my FIT model to make sure that your college is the right fit for you. I hope that you gained some insights, and I hope that you got some clarity on your plan for your future, whether you're a college student already who's trying to figure things out, whether you're in high school looking towards college, or even if you're an adult who's considering going back to college. I hope that this model will be something that you can look back on to remind you of the things you need to think about whenever you're choosing a college to be the best fit. And hey, high schoolers and parents of high schoolers, I have a free gift for you in the comment section below. If you'll just go down there, I have a free Getting into College checklist. This checklist walks you through the process of researching for college. It walks you through the process of talking to the admissions, of looking at financial aid, all the way through final acceptance. It's my free gift to you because I know that if you're going through this college journey, it is not easy. And it's a lot easier if you have a template that you can follow the steps for in order to make the best decisions for you if you're an adult going back into college, for your child if you're helping them go to college, or if you're a student who's on their own, so that you can make the decision that's right for you. Again, that is in the comment section below. Like and subscribe for more weekly tips on how to define your own success in academics. And remember, don't just exist, thrive.